And I'm a psychic prophet shaman. I'm going to talk about homeless people in America. I run into a lot of homeless people. I am homeless. There's lots of homeless camping places where I live, and that's where all the homeless people get together and sleep in tents. And then during the winter, they usually go in and stay in motels. My uncle came into town the other day, and he does computer programming for the nuclear plant and that kind of stuff. And he took me and my mother to the Stockholm Inn, and I psychic viewed the Stockholm Inn, and that's a restaurant for homeless people to work in. If you need a job and you're homeless, they give you a job at this restaurant, and all the employees in the restaurant are homeless people. And I psychic viewed that because I'm a psychic prophet shaman. Nobody told me that. And I thought it was really degrading. People are going to that restaurant because they think it's feeding homeless people. And then the homeless people are working there. So you got all these rich people. They're feeling really special. We're only going to a Stockholm Inn. It feeds homeless people. And the homeless people are working there. Why can't they get them jobs at McDonald's? If you're me, you can, and I'm a psychic prophet shaman, you can tell what it means to people's voices. My son, for instance, when he doesn't want to do something, his voice does something weird, and I know that means that he's being abused, and I feel bad. I call it an abuse squeal. It's when it's when his voice gets real strange. Maybe I guess you can tell like Mike Tyson, his voice. So anyway, I went to this homeless shelter restaurant, the Stockholm Inn, and the woman working there, her voice was doing the abuse squeal voice. That meant that she didn't want to work there. She didn't want to be a waitress, but she had to. And her voice was doing this strange thing, and I could tell that she was being abused. And I picked up after psychic viewing it that perverts did that to her so they could get off. So there was a homeless woman. They made her get a job at the homeless restaurant, and her voice was doing the abuse squeal. That means she was so abused doing the job she was forced to do that it was doing strange things. I'm a psychic prophet shaman. I'm supposed to be doing whatever Yahweh told me to do. And after he made me a psychic prophet shaman, he told me to die like one. So I'm guessing psychic prophet shamans are supposed to die horrible deaths. I tell everybody that I'm not trying to look like the Waco, Texas prophet shaman. That's why I prophesize to the Church of Scientology. They have a prophet posse that makes movies and stuff like that. So my family thinks it's really funny that I don't watch TV and I don't keep up with political affairs. I'm mostly a Hollywood prophet, as in I prophesize about what they're doing, what their prophet posse is doing. So if you are a psychic prophet shaman, you won't want to look like the Texas Waco psychic prophet shaman. I think I think that all the things he said came true. I think he was saying that the government was going to kill him and they were going to take everybody's guns away. So if you follow psychic prophet shamans, you might want to investigate if the things he said became true, because I think they did become true. So that's a psychic prophet shaman that got killed. I know that the Mormons have a psychic prophet shaman, Warren Gates or something like that. And I know he's in prison right now. The House of Yahweh has a psychic prophet shaman. I like him. I'm not a Christian. So things I've been prophesizing about to the Vatican and the Church of Scientology are about homeless people, future events in the future, big business. I prophesize a lot about big business to them. I prophesize about other prophets. I prophesize about other reincarnated angels, Venus. I prophesize about different Egyptian gods that are getting reincarnated. The Queen of the Nile. I prophesize about her. She's getting reincarnated in Mexico, and she's a large angel, and she's an Egyptian goddess, and supposedly and she sleeps in the Nile River, and supposedly when she gets up and leaves the Nile River, it floods. So she's getting reincarnated in Mexico in 30 years. I'm her granddaughter. That means her and Yahweh made me. They're energy beings. They got together. The queen of the Nile didn't make me. Venus and Yahweh made me. Who's Zeus? They got together and decided to make an angel that had specific personality traits that they would both find amusing. So angels do make other angels. They get together and make other angels. So anyway, the Queen of the Nile is an angel, and she's an Egyptian goddess, and she's getting reincarnated in Mexico. She's my grandmother. That means she's an angel that made my mother, and my mother made me, and my mother's Venus. That means she got together with Yahweh, and they thought about an angel they would both find enjoyable, and they made the angel. And then I got reincarnated, just like the Queen of the Nile is getting reincarnated in Mexico. I have never heard of the Queen of the Nile. Maybe she's getting reincarnated to talk about herself. I'm the Queen of Egypt and the Angel Vanity. I'd never heard about me either until I was reincarnated. So the Queen of the Nile is a famous Egyptian goddess in Egypt, but nobody in America has ever heard of her. So in my other YouTube video, I told everybody that Saint Nick is the angel that Saint Mike made, and he calls Saint Nick his son. Saint Nick, when he was on Earth reincarnated, he was in prison most of his life. And that'd be Saint Nick, like Santa Claus. The Queen of the Nile isn't reincarnated right now, but she is an angel you can pray to and talk to. And if you do talk to her, you'll note that she's real classy and she's hard to talk to. So I was already an angel and I got reincarnated. My guardian angel, Raphael, he's also the god of art. Art isn't the same as vanity. I'm a psychic angel, master, and joke spirit channeler. So I know my YouTube videos are ugly. Stalin was ugly. And that's art. Perfection is a porn star, and art is Stalin. So I have my own taste in what I think is interesting to watch in a psychic prophet shaman video. I'm homeless. I'm not a movie star. This is just a towel I grabbed out of the motel and put on my head. So I could, cause I'm a psychic prophet shaman. I thought it made me look like a psychic prophet shaman. I see people in videos overseas that look like this, and it looks like they know it looks good. I'll just take this crap and put it on my head, put a headband around it, and it looks good. And it does look good. Put this junk on, it looks good. Got something, I got always important work to do.